Hello folks, it's Bill Swift from Swift Canoe and Kayak, and we are here today to talk about all of our beautiful 2022 kayaks. Many different colors, models to choose from. Let's start over here. We have our beautiful lightweight Adirondacks in the LT version without the hatches and bulkheads. 10 foot, 12 foot lengths, Très magnifique, very lightweight. Then right here we have our very popular Kiwassa models, our sport touring boats. A little bit more rocker on the bottom, a little bit more playful in the water, a little bit tighter cockpits where you get right inside the boat. Some of our most popular boats. Then here are some of our big guys, the Saranac 14s and 15s, which are touring boats which you can take tripping. A lot of people will get these boats for exercise, extremely efficient in the water. They paddle just beautifully. They have cockpits that you can get in real easily. Then they fit tight around your thighs as well. The top two boats are the Adirondack 12 and 13.6 with the big open cockpits that have the hatches and bulkheads on them. So you can put gear in them if you want to. Here's a popular boat. This is one of our Saranac 15s, but it has a large cockpit. Very easy to get in and out of. And then the boat on the bottom is the Kiwassa 14, another boat with a larger cockpit. All of these models right here are comfortable with people that may want to travel with a dog, a small child, a fish tackle box, people that have knee, hip issues. Getting in and out can be a little bit of a challenge. These are really nice boats for those types of paddlers. Why do you want to buy a Swift kayak? The number one reason is that our designer, David Yost, is an absolute genius. He's been in the industry for many years. He's really been able to design kayaks that have a tremendous amount of stability, comfort in the water, that track nicely, that have a little bit of rocker in the front so you can get them to turn when you want to. What people really like about these boats is that they're not whitewater kayaks. They're not boats designed to travel way out in the ocean. These are really nice kayaks for an average everyday person that's looking for a really nice boat. The most important design feature that David Yost employs is that he makes his chine areas very rounded. It really allows waves to roll underneath the boat with very little effect of moving the boat around. And I'm going to move a little bit now. Notice how the chine area doesn't change in shape. It's very consistently rounded from one end to the other. It really provides a very comfortable feel to it. And if you look at some of our kayaks and say, wow, they don't look very deep, they look kind of shallow, look how deep they actually are. The rounded chine area makes it a little bit deceptive. Another reason you really want to buy a Swift kayak is how light they are, and we're going to show you right now. Our kayaks weigh as little as 22 pounds. Adrian has volunteered to help today, and she's going to show us the proper way to lift an Adirondack 12 LT in carbon fusion. This is a beautiful Firestorm one with a clear black carbon hull and 24 pounds. What do you think, Adrian?
Fantastic.
Let's try it out. So she's going to walk up to it and put her legs more than shoulder width apart, reach down and pick the near side up first, pull it right into her belly real tight, and she's finding the balance point right there while she's doing it. She's going to reach over with one hand, and then with her left hand she's going to reach over and turn it upside down and roll the boat onto her shoulder and then stand up. Voila. Beautiful. Now let's say this makes it so easy to go to and from the water. It's got a lot of padding right on her shoulder, and there's also padding right where it's hitting her hip, and depending on the height of your torso, that fits people in different configurations. Now Adrian, you could take that to and from the water. What about putting it back on your car? How would you quickly, just put it up a little bit higher to get it on a taller vehicle. She just swings her arm under and she can balance it right there. And what do you think about a lift? Nice, if it's a real tall vehicle. So having these lightweight kayaks allows people that are smaller but mighty lift the boat and put it right on their vehicle without asking anyone for help. Now let's put it down slowly. So she's going to put it down on her shoulder first, and then she's going to turn her body into the kayak as she lowers it. And she's going to crouch down and then put her hands right in the middle and put the far side down first, and then slowly walk away from it. Lightweight, beautiful paddling kayaks. You've got to try one of these, folks. All Swift kayaks are available with absolutely stunning gel coat finishes. On the top, we have one with a solid deck color in the aqua blue. There's many other solid deck colors that you can get, the traditional reds and greens, yellow, orange, red. They're all on our website on the kayak color pages. They're available in either the Kevlar Fusion or the Carbon Fusion laminate. Also, you can get the champagne gel coat finish on the bottom, or on the Carbon Fusion boats, you can get the black carbon, which is just beautiful. Will show scratches a little bit more, but it's going to give you a great looking boat. Now, lots of folks like to get our beautiful kayak color fades. This is a Boreal one where we mix the two greens, and note how right at the transition edge of the boat is where we mix the two, blend the two colors together. You can see the dark forest green and the lighter green right here. The one below, the glacier, you can see how we mix the dark sea blue with the lighter aqua blue. And the one on the bottom, this is one of our most popular colors, the sunburst, where we mix the mango color with the yellow. Any one that you choose is going to give you an absolutely stunning finish and look. We are in our popular Adirondack LT models. Adrian, 5'8", 120 pounds, is in the Adirondack 10 LT, which is actually 10 feet 2 inches long, 27.5 inches wide at the widest point, and only 24.5 at the waterline. Beautiful paddling boat for someone her size. Brandon, a little bit taller, he's 5'8", 160, 5'10", 160. So he really fits the Adirondack 12 LT, which is 12 feet 2 inches long, same widths, the 27.5 at the widest point, 24.5 at the waterline. Beautiful size boat for him. You can see he fits in it very comfortably. I'm 6'4", 220, and I'm in a 12 LT also, and I can fit in this boat, and I can paddle in it. It's kind of fun. I feel like I'm in a little whitewater sport boat when I'm in it, but I'm really too big for it. You can really see from the angle Joe's showing you the sleekness to the shape, the cleanness to the waterline, the roundness in the chine area, which initially you feel a tiny bit of playful feeling that you get used to quickly, like learning how to ride a bicycle where you don't even think about it. These boats are beautiful. Now the seating system is so comfortable for these guys, and I'm going to get up here. Notice how with Adrian, she's got her knees, when she braces them on the side, she can put them right on the padding on the side. And the seat in the back, very comfortable. It's got the adjustable lumbar support in it. Now our seat's designed with movement. When you paddle, you move your body, and this seat moves nicely with you. So we do have a lot of bigger people, such as myself, that want to get a really small kayak. Throughout this video, we're going to show you appropriate sizes for the different models. The 10 LT really fits someone 80 pounds, 140 pounds. We've had a few gals 160 pounds in it very nicely. The 12 LT fits somebody a little larger, I'd say up to 200 pounds. 5'10", 6 feet is about the maximum. If If you're taller than that, you're going to want to look at one of our other models. So the LT is a great version for you if you're looking for the lightest weight kayak we make. We were just in these beautiful Adirondack LT models. The top one is an Adirondack 10 LT with a lime green top, a clear black carbon hull on it, 22 pounds. You can also order it with the champagne hull, which shows the scratches a little bit less. That's going to add a pound and a half in weight to the boat. This one is a carbon Negra top and bottom in our carbon fusion laminate. This is the lightest weight we can build a kayak. We can do it in our LT models. Beautiful lightweight, 22 pounds, maybe a little bit less. This guy is an Adirondack 12 LT with Firestorm color with a clear black carbon hull. Beautiful look to it. The one on the bottom is a Sunburst deck with a champagne hull in the Kevlar Fusion laminate. We just brought all these in from outside and it's springtime here, so they may have some dusts or marks on them, but they're still beautiful. We need to give them some TLC with some Protectant 303. Now, we're going to come to our beautiful sport touring boats. The top one is an aqua blue over champagne Kiwassa 12.6 in the LT version. So it doesn't have the hatches and bulkheads. Both the 12.6 Kiwassa and the 13.2 you can order in either the LT without the hatches and bulkheads or the regular ones have the hatches and bulkheads that we'll show you. This beautiful one is a 12.6 and it's got the Firestorm deck over the champagne bottom. And then look at this one. This is a very unique color. This is what we call a grape top over the clear black carbon hull. Very distinctive look. And if you want a little bit more of a naturalist color, the bottom Kiwassa 13.2 is Boreal, which is a mixture of our light green and our forest green over the champagne bottom. Has a very unique look to it. So let's talk about the sizing of these beautiful Kiwassas. We are now in our beautiful Kiwassa models. Adrian really fits the 12.6 nicely, 5'8". Brandon fits the 12.6 too, 5'10". We've had people a bit bigger than Brandon in the 12.6. I really fit the Kiwassa 13.2 beautifully at 6'4", 240. Now, David Yost did something very unique with the cockpit shape. And guys, let's show them all. A lot of people paddle with their knees on the side or their legs underneath. And Brandon, that was beautiful. He designed these kayaks, David Yost, for what he calls two knees up, where if you want to, you can pull your knees up. You can stretch out a little bit in the middle of your paddle. Comfort, 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 comfort is what you should think about Swift kayaks. Then very quickly, you can either put your legs right back under or paddle with your knees sort of pushed right on the side of this beautiful foam right here. The Swift seating system is really neat, guys. All of the contact points have a lot of foam on them. So if you notice both where Brandon and Adrian are, lots of foam on here, and then that super comfortable seat when you move, you've always got something soft that you're rubbing your body on. Now, these kayaks are a bit narrower than the Adirondacks, but because you can put more support with your legs, either tuck them under or right on the side, they have a very similar feeling of stability to the Adirondack LT models. So the 12.6 and the 13.2 are also available for smaller people that have a little bit shorter torsos in what we call an LV model. The LV stands for low volume. And when we build those, we cut half an inch off the deck and the hull right from end to end, and we seam them together. So if you're a little bit smaller in stature and or you like a little bit of tighter fit on your legs, the LT models With the low volume version, very lightweight, or you can get it with the hatches also. These boats paddle beautifully, folks. Straight keeled in the back, little bit more rocker forward than our Adirondacks have. When you lean these guys on the side a little bit, they're boats that are designed for, as your skills improve, you get more out of them. You really can cut a quicker turn. So if you want to turn left, when you've got speed going, if you lean it to the right a little bit, you'll find that they'll very gracefully arc to the left. If you want to turn to the right, you very gradually lean to the left while you're paddling, and it really moves off in that direction. They feel very sporty. As your skills improve, you get more and more out of these Kiwassas. A big design feature of Swift kayaks is that they've got very long waterline lengths where the water meets the boat in relation to the overall length of the boat. Many ocean-going kayaks, other kayaks, have very raked forward noses on them. So the Kiwassa 13.2 paddles like a 14, 15-foot boat. The Saranac 14s and 15s paddle like 16, 17-foot kayaks, with a very smooth transition of shape going down the end. In the back of the boat, they've got very plumb tails to them, where they come down pretty quickly. It gives you a long waterline length, so you have greater efficiency with these boats. Let's talk about our beautiful Saranacs. The top one is a Saranac 14 low volume, beautiful glacier blue with a champagne bottom. The next one down is the regular depth Saranac 14 with a yellow deck in the clear black carbon hull. This is our very distinctive looking Bumblebee. Then the next guy is a Saranac 15 Firestorm with a champagne bottom. This is also available in a low volume version with this size cockpit ring. Fits a little bit tighter. Then the bottom one was a new boat that we had last year, which we are getting lots of orders for. This is the Saranac 15, and what we did is we put the Kiwassa 14 length cockpit on it, and we have it with a beautiful carbon cockpit rim on it. Look at the size on here. It really makes it where larger people can get in and out of it. An absolutely beautiful boat. Let's put them down and have you folks get a better look of them. Look at these show-offs right now. Adrian and Brandon are doing what people love to do in the kayaks, and that is they love to paddle, but when you stop paddling, these cockpit sizes that David Yost designed makes it where you can take your legs out, you can drag them in the water, you can support them on the deck. Just makes it so comfortable. A warm summer day, it's blue sky, beautiful out. You can dip your feet in the water, you can splash when you stop paddling. Now Adrian is in the 14 LV 5'8", 120, and she fits it really nicely. Why don't you guys get your legs in and we'll show people how good a fit these boats have. So even though they can stop when they're resting and be so comfortable, they both can really tuck their legs under beautifully. Brandon being 5'10", 160, really fits this boat nicely. So somewhat similar weight ranges to our other boats. Someone 80 pounds up to 140 could fit in the Saranac 14 LV nicely. Someone up to 160, maybe a little bit bigger depending on torso size. The Saranac 14 fits a very broad range of people. We've had people 120 up to my size, 240, in the boat with longer legs. But really, I'm in the Saranac 15, and for someone taller and bigger, being 6'4", 240, this boat fits me so nicely. So it's so important to size the boat to what's going to fit you well. And if you're not quite sure what size you are, give us a call. Brandon is our sales manager. Be happy to talk to you. Many other folks answering the phone can really help you out. Now let me show you this. I can put my knees on the side just like in the Kiwassa. I can tuck my legs under nicely. I've got size 13 feet. I don't have to turn them sideways or anything in here. David's designed these boats where he really put some depth right where your feet are going to be in the boat. So you can comfortably position your feet. You don't have to turn them in awkward position at all while you're paddling. So I'm going to get out of this baby. Now the Saranac 15 is an inch wider than the 14. This is the one with the large cockpit. So I can be a show-off like Adrian and Brandon were. I can get in and out. Some people straddle the boat like this. So I can comfortably put my legs in and take them out on this. One of the things people love about our kayaks is that with the foot brace systems that we use, where you adjust them right where you're sitting from, you can change them while you're paddling. If you're paddling for a while and you feel like you just want the foot braces to be a little bit closer, very easy to do so. So many different sizes to the boats right here. There's going to be a Saranac that's going to suit your needs nicely. Here are 4 beautiful boats that we sell lots of. They have larger cockpit sizes than our other models. And let's start with the 2 right here. We have an Adirondack 12 and an Adirondack 13.6. The models that are 27.5 inches wide at the widest point, and then about 24 to 24.5 wide at the waterline, depending how much you weigh. So I'm getting in the 12-footer right now, and I could be considered a little bit too big for it, but I fit in this. With the big cockpits, we can really get a broad variety of size people in this. Many people will use these models. Fish tackle box, a small child, a dog. Very versatile. It just makes it where you can get stuff in and out of the boat very easily. Now I'm going to get up. I actually fit this one, the Adirondack 13.6, beautifully. This one just feels really nice to me. It's a little bit deeper, has a little bit more volume to it. My feet fit in a little bit nicer. So I used to have a very large Shepherd Rottweiler cross, and he and I could paddle in this boat very comfortably. So he would fit right in the front here, and I'd always have him facing forward. Beautiful boat for that. It's got more volume perhaps than any of our other kayaks. Lots of storage capacity on both the 12 and the 13.6 if you want to do overnight camping with them. The Adirondacks have the beautiful carbon cockpit rims on them with the overlapping seams. This one is forest green over champagne. It's one of our canoe colors actually, but it looks just fantastic if you want that naturalist look. The 12 is indigo, which is the aqua blue and the grape on it with the champagne bottom. And then here's another model we haven't talked about yet. This is the Kiwassa 14. David Yost brought this shape to us years ago, and he wanted a boat. He had just had knee replacement, and he wanted a boat that he could easily get in and out of just by lifting his legs in and out. So if someone has knee issues or hip issues, this is one of our most popular models. The reason is it's got a beautiful shape to it. It's a bit narrower than the Adirondack 13.6, so it's got a little bit more performance. So if you're looking for a larger cockpit boat, recreational oriented, lots of stability, tracks beautifully, but you really want to get that glide. When you take a stroke, you really want to feel that acceleration. This is a beautiful kayak, the Kiwassa 14. This is the Saranac 15 with the new LC cockpit that I was just in the last segment. So very easy for me to get in and out of. And again, this could be a kayak that I could put a dog in, a small child. Now, let me talk one thing that we feel is so important at Swift. That is paddling comfort. So what I'm going to do right now is show you that when you paddle, you move your body. And our seating system, everywhere where your body might rub on the seat, on the sides, has a lot of padding on it. To get the most efficient stroke you can, when you rotate your body forward and set your paddle, you actually push on your feet. When you rotate your stroke through, our foot brace systems are so comfortable. So the design of the seat, the foot braces, the side padding is all designed for comfort first, and secondly, to allow you to be in a paddling position where you can really comfortably move through the water. Now, some of our boats, like the Kiwassa 14, are designed exclusively for you to paddle with your knees on the side. So in this particular model, when I'm in it, I don't want to put my legs underneath. And here's something important to talk about, guys. The more you push your legs down, the more of a right angle you put your body at, that when you paddle like this, you really feel it on your ligaments, your tendons, your muscles. It's really an uncomfortable position to paddle in. If I bring the foot brace back more, the more bend you get with your knees, the more comfortable your stroke is, and the more you can paddle for many hours. You'll actually see Olympic kayakers that really twist their whole bodies, and they put their knees up and down with every stroke. As recreational paddlers and touring paddlers, we don't want to do that. We just want to be able to rotate our paddle and paddle comfortably. All Swift kayaks are designed with that in mind. They're extremely comfortable to paddle in for 2 or 3 hours without having that feeling of, this thing's killing me, I got to get the heck out of it. Cheers to the Swift kayaks. Let's talk about the details of our Adirondack kayak construction. So this particular one is the clear carbon hull with the beautiful Firestorm deck. All of our kayaks have these beautiful handles on them, which are nice and rubberized. They're essentially luggage handles. They're so comfortable. Now these boats, the Adirondacks, have the overlapping seam with the deck and the hull, allowing us to build them very lightweight. We put bungee cords where you can put doodads, a map, different things on the front. This is our beautiful carbon cockpit rim. We actually put these slots right here where you can put a paddle across to help you get in and out. You can also put it behind you if you like to brace yourself on the paddle when you get in and out behind the cockpit. Here is our beautiful seating system. Here's the real good stuff. I'm going to show you all about our seat and why it's the best seat in the industry. We build these all in-house. Put some unidirectional carbon right in the middle. We shape each particular seat for each model to really fit the bottom precisely. And then we've really worked hard over time coming up with a beautiful shape that was at the right angle for your legs and your derriere. Has a little bit of support in the back also. This is one of the keys to our seating system. Every kayak we build has a different seat. The height of it, the width of it, the contour shape on the bottom. Every carbon seat base is a little bit different. Here is the seat with the pad on it. So this pad is absolutely killer. Let me show this to you first. When you use the seat, you clip it in the back here. When you bring it up, you don't crank it like crazy. You leave it a little bit loose. And the reason you do that is that you want this strap to be able to free flow in the back of it while you're paddling. That allows you, when you're swinging your body a little bit, that the seat will move with you. It's got adjustable lumbar support. It's got a very thick pad on the bottom and a very soft pad in the back here. And let me show them to you. So the bottom has this super cool foam that really absorbs energy. This foam has been designed with what people in the industry call enhanced blood flow management. They use it on wheelchairs and special needs equipment for people that are going to be on it all day. Extremely elastic. When you move with it, it's got a really good feel. We put a real neat ripstop nylon that's breathable on the top of it. That's what the majority of your weight is on the bottom right here. And then in the back of the seat, we have a more porous foam that really compresses nicely, but then immediately just returns to its original shape. Same ripstop nylon on it. That's the foam right in the back here. It's also the foam that's inside the adjustable lumbar support. Years ago, I had a bad back injury where I ruptured a disc. Part of my therapy as I was coming out of it was to use lumbar support in my vehicle and office chair. And with that, I just said to myself, I've got to be able to put this in the kayaks. So we developed this really unique system. You're so much better off when you paddle if you can arch your back a little bit. It's a more natural position for your spine, for your back. You don't want to slouch when you paddle. It's not good for your back. It's not good for your spine. This lumbar support, it takes a little bit of time for you to find the right spot that's going to suit your needs the best. Really makes it where it puts your body in a more proper paddling position. This seat system is absolutely killer. And we have many people that have bought other kayaks that ask us to put it in their kayaks. Very lightweight, super comfortable, and super good for you. On the Adirondack LT models, there's a fair amount of space right in the back here where you can put a big dry bag. David Yost actually designed it to put an Adirondack style pack basket, a woven one, right in the back if you want to be real traditional and do it the way it used to be done. Now, in the cockpit, you can see the foot brace right here, and there's slots on it. You lift it up and move it, and it'll settle into the spot. You never pull it towards you, just up and over, let it settle. You can see the head on here really fits the ball of your feet nicely. If you're just going to use neoprene socks or neoprene booties, extremely comfortable. And there's times in the summer I kick my shoes off, just put my feet right on that. The LTs also have foam pillars in both ends for supplemental flotation. You can see the end of the beautiful carbon cockpit rim. Also has the nice bungees in the back. This is a stainless steel security loop that you can run a big cable through if you want to lock your vehicle up wherever if you're driving to a nice spot, stopping for dinner somewhere, or if you, at home, just want to keep it locked wherever you're going to be storing the boat. It's got the same beautiful handle in the back end. These two models of Adirondack 12s, the LT and the regular version, have the exact same hull shape. They just have different decks on them. So the same nice handles on this version. Here are the hatch straps. So they have a very good neoprene gasket on them. It's actually a door gasket. Solid bulkheads. Both of these parts, the bulkheads and the kayak hatch itself, are made out of resin-infused parts. When you put this down, you can actually feel the seal, feel the compression. If you want to get the hatch absolutely watertight, what I like to do is put them on generally, then to push down hard on the end, lift up, crank it a little bit tighter. Go to the front, lift up, crank it a little bit tighter. No hatch system is 100% watertight. Always put your stuff in plastic bags, rubber bags, dry bags work great. So this has the carbon cockpit rim with the bungee cords again, but this cockpit rim is a little bit shorter and a little bit wider than in the LT version. And you can see how much more space there is in it. Exact same seating system. It's got the back hatch on it also, much bigger. A feature of all David Yost boats is that he puts a lot of volume above the waterline in all of his models. So the Adirondacks with hatches, the Kiwassa with hatches, the Saranacs with hatches, they all have a lot of storage capacity in relation to the overall size of the boat. Stainless steel security loop and the same nice handles again. These Adirondacks are built in a beautiful manner that are going to provide a lot of comfort and years of enjoyment. Here's a quick review of the Kiwassa models. Here's a Kiwassa 12.6 LT, so it doesn't have hatches and bulkheads on it. It's got the clean deck right across, got the nice comfortable handles. We build the deck and the hull separately, and then we have a H-channel seam with the ABS nose cones that we seam them together with. Now these have these perimeter deck lines, and the white that you see on here is a glow-in-the-dark material that if you're out paddling at night, two of you, and you have headlamps and you shine the boat's lights on each other, they really have a lot of pop, or if a motorboat happens to be going by, you're highly visible. We put some bungees in the front, nice bungees right here where you can put a map, some munchies, some doodads. Beautiful ABS cockpit rim with the nice foam padding on them. The same seat as we just showed you in the Adirondack, but it's at a different height, different position. The same adjustable foot braces. So rather than having solid bulkheads here, we put the foam pillars, like in the Adirondack LT models, in the front and the back of the boat. Stainless steel security loop. Here is a paddle holder, which assists when you want at certain times of getting in and out of a boat from a dock or a shoreline where you can get in right next to it. More bungees, the same perimeter deck lines in the back. Same beautiful handles on them. Now let's show you the Kiwassa version. This is a 13.2 in all of them. The 12.6, 13.2, 14 with hatches are going to have all these same features. The same ABS nose cones with H-channel. The nice comfort handles. Perimeter deck lines. That same nice hatch system as we showed on the Adirondacks. ABS cockpit rims. And then here the big difference is going to be, they also have the solid bulkheads, which again are made with a resin infused part. Both the hatch cover and this is made. Now this particular model has an optional skeg system. And here's the control. You pull it back and it deploys down. I pull it forward, it comes back. You can keep it halfway. You can adjust how much of it you want down. Whenever you come into shore, you always pull it all the way forward. And let's just show you the insides of this. Here's the back hatch. And again, the Kiwassas, like the Adirondack, have a lot of volume above the waterline. Tremendous amount of room in here. So if we can see, Joe, there's the housing for the skeg back there. And then there's a line that runs up and all the way along the side on the inside. Great operational system. You can get the skegs clogged a little bit with sand and dirt. It's a good idea to take a bread knife, some type of knife, and spray water in, and you can take some gook out if you do get some stuff trapped up in there. Now in the back of all of our kayaks, we have a serial number plate. So this is going to be your identification number and the last digits on it. The last numbers are the month and the year that it was built. So whichever Kiwassa model you choose, it's going to be built with the pride that all of our kayaks are made with. Let's go through the Saranac features. The Saranac 14 LV and Saranac 14 are built with a real strong H-channel system with the durable ABS nose cones. When we do the LV again, we cut 1/2 inch off the deck and 1/2 inch off the hull, seam it together so they both have different fits. They've got the comfort handles, the beautiful perimeter deck lines, nice bungee cords. They've got the same hatch system with a real rubberized gasket. Bungees closer to where you're paddling. ABS cockpit rims with a nice real foam on it. Joe, let's just show, I'm gonna pull this down a little bit. This foam goes way underneath the cockpit rim, so this gives your leg and your knee lots of padding on it while you paddle. The same seat system as we've showed you on our other kayaks. Both the Saranac 14 and 15 have the nice paddle holder behind the cockpit. Stainless steel security loops, more bungees, same hatch system. It's very similar to the Kiwassa's right through to the end. So let's go over the Saranac 15 because it is a little bit different. So we make this in the Saranac 15, which this boat is right here. We also have a low volume version of this, an inch tighter. And then we have the LC version, the large cockpit of it also, which is available both in the regular height and the low volume. This one has our nice overlapping seam system that we urethane the parts together with. And all the features are very similar. The deck features, the handles, the perimeter deck lines, the bungees, the hatches, right down the boat. The 15-foot models have our beautiful carbon cockpit rims on them. That nice foam again, beautiful seating system, paddle holder, stainless steel security loop. What this boat has that's different than the others is it's got the C-line rudder system on it as an option, which we can do on our Kiwassas and our Saranacs. And I'm going to move up here, and right next to where you paddle, there is a position where you can bring the rudder up, hook it in, and it just tucks in next to you. So when you're paddling and you want to lower it, I'll just lower it down. And Joe, why don't you go back to the rudder now? I'm going to work on the rudder head here. Now the C-line rudders have a beautiful system where they've got two pedals for both your left and your right feet. The bottom pedal on it is a permanent position where you brace your feet, and it gives you a position that even if you're using the rudder, you've got a solid stance on it. The upper pedal on it, which is more near the toe of your foot, is where you control the direction of the rudder. So it's a really cool system. Now this rudder blade is very finely foiled. It's our favorite one in the industry. If you hit a rock or log, it's going to bounce. But it's very small, has very little resistance in the water. But when you crank this over, it really moves the kayak around really coolly. So when you're done paddling, you're coming into shore, you just grab the control device, you hook it back up, and voila, you're ready to come in. So Kiwassas or Saranacs, we do the rudder system on. There's lots of choices in the Saranacs. And the hardest thing, folks, is going to be just to choose one that you're going to love. I want one of virtually all of these kayaks. Adrian and I are going to show you now how to put the cockpit covers and spray skirts on and off. These are Swift accessories right on our price list, right on our web store, swiftoutside.com. So when you start putting it on, you want to come to the back of the cockpit cover where you see this knot right here. You want to stretch it as much as you can. They actually come with a little spacer at the beginning. I take the spacer off the first few times I use the cockpit cover until it's sort of stretched out a little bit. So Adrian's going to help me now. I'm going to put that knot right in the middle of the back, and then Adrian's going to hold on to the side there nicely. If you try to do this by yourself the first few times, folks, you're going to get really frustrated and think the folks at Swift are crazy. But when you're driving or you've got the cockpit cover on and you want to keep the critters out and the rain out, you're going to love the people from Swift for making such a tight fit. So I come around to the front and then I work back down the back side of it. Voila, it's on. Now it does have a little hook in the front that you can hook up to the bungee cords. So it's got a nice fit on it. When you take the cockpit cover off, you just want to unclip it. And what I do is just pull it forward and out first and then peel it back a little bit on each side. When I'm not using it, I usually just roll it up. If you've been in salt water and you're salt water, make sure that you really wash this as often as you can. Now, I don't often wear a spray skirt. Many times if I'm out going in Lake Ontario, Georgian Bay, big water, I'll put the spray skirt right behind me. So we actually in our kayak lesson show people how to put the kayak skirt on when you're in the water. So we're going to do the same thing here. Adrian and I are going to put this on. So you want to do it together at first. So find where the knot is, stretch it out as much as you can. And Joe, let's show in the back here. Put that right in the middle of the stainless steel security loop, right when you start. Then Adrian's going to help me again by holding on here. And then I'm slowly going to work my way up one side. Adrian could be doing it also, but I find sometimes when two people try to do it at the same time, they end up fighting each other. And we want to keep a harmonious friendship between the two of us. So we are bringing this all the way around. Nice fit. It's got this right in the front. So the skirt itself, breathable nylon, really repels the water nicely. It's got a zipper on it. You can put some munchies, some doodads right in front of you. It also has what's called an implosion bar right here, which helps dome the skirt and helps the water to run off the side. Inside the skirt, there's a little strap that I can pull tighter to create a little bit more dome to it when I'm using it. I like to loosen that off when I'm finished using it because it makes it harder to put on if it's really tight. Now the skirt is super cool. It does come with these shoulder straps. I never use them. I take them off right away and discard them. Some people do use them. Now this has a zip on it. So it works so cool when you're out there, folks. You can, first of all, you can keep the skirt open if you want it breathable and you don't think you need the skirt on. Let the air flow in and out. Keep it nice and ventilated inside. You can get at camera equipment, some munchies, a water bottle if you have them in there. So the skirt itself, when you do zip it up, it's got this neoprene on it. And what you are able to do is, it's got straps on either side that you can tighten up so it fits a very broad variety of waist sizes. So these spray skirts are super cool, very comfortable. Now when I'm done using the spray skirt, we've come in, what I do is pull this forward again, and don't try to just yank it back, just gently peel it off. And then what I do is I roll it up as I take it down. Again, if I'm paddling, I'll just put it right in the back. It fits beautifully, right in between the bulkhead and the seat. If I've been in saltwater, brackish water when I get back, I really like to wash it off, rinse it. So Swift kayaks, beautiful. Many different models. We've got the beautiful Adirondacks, the beautiful Kiwassas, many different Saranacs for you to choose from. Perhaps the hardest thing is going to be to fine-tune the model you want, but if you're having troubles, give us a call at our 800 number, email us, and maybe the best thing to do is to get an Adirondack, a Kiwassa, and a Saranac. Then you're going to be one happy paddler.